The provided information does not definitively state whether all outdoor receptacles necessitate in-use covers, or only those with unattended tools or devices connected. This ambiguity leaves the interpretation open. One possible understanding is that every outdoor receptacle, irrespective of whether tools or devices are plugged in, should have in-use covers. This viewpoint stems from the absence of any distinction in the text between receptacles that have something plugged in and those that do not. An alternative perspective is that only outdoor receptacles with unattended tools or devices in use demand in-use covers. This hinges on the text-specific mention of unattended tools or devices. The ultimate determination of whether to equip all outdoor receptacles with in-use covers or limited to those powering unattended equipment rests with the individual or entity responsible for the electrical system. Several factors warrant consideration when making this determination. Firstly, assessing the risk of accidental contact with the receptacle. A high-risk environment might warrant more stringent safety measures. Secondly, evaluating the likelihood of the receptacle being used unattended. If an attended use is common, in-use covers become more important. Thirdly, considering the financial implications of installing in-use covers. Balancing costs with safety is crucial. Fourthly, taking into account the aesthetic impact of in-use covers. While safety is paramount, appearance can also be a concern. In-use covers are weatherproof enclosures designed to protect electrical receptacles and plugs from the elements when an electrical device is plugged into the outlet. They provide a barrier against rain, snow, ice, and other environmental factors that could damage the receptacle or create a safety hazard. The National Electrical Code, or NEC, provides guidelines and requirements for electrical installations, including the use of in-use covers in certain locations. The NEC aims to ensure electrical safety and prevent hazards such as electrical shock and fires. Understanding the relevant NEC sections is crucial for compliance and safety. The interpretation of NEC requirements can sometimes be subjective, and local jurisdictions may have their own specific interpretations or amendments. It is always advisable to consult with a qualified electrical inspector or engineer to ensure compliance with local codes and regulations. Considering the specific environment where the outdoor receptacles are located is also important. Receptacles in harsh environments, such as those exposed to frequent rain or snow, may benefit more from in-use covers than those in more sheltered locations. The type of equipment being used with the outdoor receptacles should also be taken into account. Equipment that is more sensitive to moisture or dust may require additional protection. The frequency of use of the outdoor receptacles can also be a factor. Receptacles that are used frequently may be more likely to be exposed to the elements, increasing the need for in-use covers. When selecting in-use covers, it is important to choose products that are listed and labeled by a recognized testing laboratory such as Underwriters Laboratories, or all. This ensures that the covers meet industry standards for safety and performance. The installation of in-use covers should be performed by a qualified electrician in accordance with the manufacturer's instructions and all applicable codes and regulations. Proper installation is essential to ensure that the covers provide adequate protection and do not create any safety hazards. Regular inspection and maintenance of in-use covers are also important. Covers should be checked for damage or wear and tear, and replaced if necessary. Any cracks or holes in the covers can compromise their ability to protect the receptacle from the elements. In addition to in-use covers, there are other measures that can be taken to improve the safety of outdoor receptacles. These include using ground fault circuit interrupters, or GFCIs, to protect against electrical shock and installing weatherproof boxes and fittings. GFCIs are designed to detect ground faults and quickly interrupt the flow of electricity, preventing serious injury or death. Weatherproof boxes and fittings provide additional protection against moisture and corrosion. The decision to install in-use covers on outdoor receptacles is a complex one that depends on a variety of factors. By carefully considering these factors and consulting with qualified professionals, individuals and organizations can make informed decisions that promote electrical safety and prevent hazards. The NEC is updated every 3 years, so it is important to stay current with the latest requirements. Changes to the code can affect the installation and use of in-use covers. Local amendments to the NEC can also vary, so it is important to check with the local authorities having jurisdiction. The authority having jurisdiction, or ORJ, is the organization, office, or individual responsible for enforcing the requirements of a code or standard, or for approving equipment, materials, an installation, or a procedure. The AHJ may be a federal, state, local, or other regional department or individual such as a fire marshal, building official, electrical inspector, or others having statutory authority. Understanding the role of the AHJ is crucial for ensuring compliance with local codes and regulations. The AHJ can provide guidance and interpretation of the code and can also conduct inspections to verify compliance. When planning an electrical installation, it is always advisable to consult with the AHJ to ensure that the design meets all applicable requirements. The use of in-use covers is just one aspect of electrical safety. A comprehensive approach to electrical safety includes proper wiring, grounding, overcurrent protection, and regular maintenance. Proper wiring is essential to ensure that electrical circuits are safe and reliable. Grounding provides a path for fault current to flow back to the source, helping to prevent electrical shock. Overcurrent protection devices such as circuit breakers and fuses are designed to protect electrical circuits from overloads and short circuits. Regular maintenance can help to identify and correct potential electrical hazards before they cause problems. In addition to the technical aspects of in-use covers, there are also some practical considerations. For example, the covers should be easy to open and close, even with gloves on. They should also be durable enough to withstand repeated use and exposure to the elements. The cost of in-use covers can vary depending on the type of cover and the quantity purchased. It is important to shop around and compare prices before making a purchase. Some manufacturers offer discounts for bulk purchases. The installation of in-use covers can be a DIY project for experienced homeowners. However, it is important to follow the manufacturer's instructions carefully and to take all necessary safety precautions. If you are not comfortable working with electricity, it is best to hire a qualified electrician to install the covers. The use of in-use covers can help to prevent electrical accidents and injuries. By protecting outdoor receptacles from the elements, they reduce the risk of electrical shock and equipment damage. In-use covers are a simple and effective way to improve electrical safety. The NEC provides specific requirements for the types of receptacles that must be protected by in-use covers. These requirements vary depending on the location and application of the receptacle. For example, receptacles located in damp or wet locations are generally required to be protected by in-use covers. Receptacles that are used to supply power to portable equipment are also often required to be protected by in-use covers. The NEC also specifies the types of in-use covers that are acceptable for use. The covers must be listed and labeled for the intended use, and they must provide adequate protection against the elements. The covers must also be designed to allow the receptacle to be used without removing the cover. There are many different types of in-use covers available on the market. Some covers are designed to be used with specific types of receptacles, while others are more universal. It is important to choose the right type of cover for the application. Some in-use covers are made of plastic, while others are made of metal. Plastic covers are generally less expensive than metal covers, but they may not be as durable. Metal covers are more durable, but they can also be more expensive. The choice between plastic and metal covers depends on the specific application and the budget. In addition to in-use covers, there are also other types of weatherproof covers available for outdoor receptacles. These covers are designed to protect the receptacle from the elements when it is not in use. Weatherproof covers are a good option for receptacles that are not used frequently. The installation of weatherproof covers is generally simpler than the installation of in-use covers. Weatherproof covers are typically attached to the receptacle box with screws. It is important to ensure that the cover is properly sealed to prevent moisture from entering the box. The use of weatherproof covers can help to extend the life of outdoor receptacles. By protecting the receptacle from the elements, they reduce the risk of corrosion and other damage. Weatherproof covers are a relatively inexpensive way to improve the safety and reliability of outdoor electrical systems. The NEC also provides requirements for the location of outdoor receptacles. Receptacles must be located at least 12 inches above grade, and they must be protected from physical damage. Receptacles should also be located in a well-drained area to prevent water from accumulating around the receptacle. The location of outdoor receptacles should be carefully considered during the design of an electrical system. Proper location can help to prevent accidents and injuries. In addition to the NEC, there are also other standards and guidelines that address the safety of outdoor electrical systems. These standards and guidelines are developed by organizations such as the Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineers, or IEE, and the National Fire Protection Association, or NFPA. These standards and guidelines provide additional information on topics such as grounding, bonding, and surge protection. It is important to be familiar with these standards and guidelines when designing and installing outdoor electrical systems. The information provided is for general guidance only and should not be considered a substitute for professional advice. Always consult with a qualified electrician or engineer before making any decisions about electrical installations. Electrical work can be dangerous, and it is important to take all necessary safety precautions. The decision to install and use covers is often based on a risk assessment. This involves evaluating the potential hazards associated with the outdoor receptacles and determining the likelihood of those hazards occurring. The risk assessment should take into account factors such as the location of the receptacles, the type of equipment being used, and the frequency of use. If the risk assessment indicates that there is a significant risk of electrical shock or equipment damage, then in-use covers should be installed. The risk assessment should be reviewed periodically to ensure that it is still accurate and up to date. Changes in the environment or the type of equipment being used may require adjustments to the risk assessment. The cost of installing in-use covers should be considered in relation to the potential benefits. While in-use covers can help to prevent accidents and injuries, they also add to the cost of the electrical installation. The cost-benefit analysis should take into account factors such as the cost of the covers, the cost of installation, and the potential costs of accidents or injuries. If the cost-benefit analysis indicates that the benefits of installing in-use covers outweigh the costs, then the covers should be installed. The aesthetic impact of in-use covers should also be considered. While safety is the primary concern, it is also important to consider the appearance of the electrical installation. In-use covers can sometimes be bulky and unattractive, and they may detract from the overall appearance of the building. If aesthetics are a major concern, then it may be possible to choose in-use covers that are less noticeable. There are many different styles of in-use covers available in the market, and some are more aesthetically pleasing than others. The decision of whether to install in-use covers is a complex one that depends on a variety of factors. By carefully considering these factors and consulting with qualified professionals, individuals and organizations can make informed decisions that promote electrical safety and prevent hazards. The goal is to create a safe electrical environment for everyone.